I met this amazing mama sea turtle this morning, and she was courageous. In the beginning there, you can see she was laying her eggs, and then she spends a great deal of time covering them up. I started watching her at 6:15 this morning, and so she was struggling quite a bit. For quite a while, she was staying still like this, so I was worried about her health. Some UCF researchers came by, and they noticed she was missing her rear right flipper. This will show more later in the video, so that's probably a major reason for her struggles. So as she came out from the ocean, she built 3 or 4 false nests. She just couldn't get deep enough down into the ground. And so finally, on this most likely 4th attempt, she gets the eggs down, she tries to cover them up, and then it's just so deep, she's really struggling getting out. Luckily, I was with Annie this morning, and so we started moving sand out of her way. Right where she's crawling out there was a big hill of sand, and Annie and I were able to knock that down a bit so she could get over it. She was beautiful despite the researchers said they thought she had been attacked by a shark because some of the bite marks and missing that rear flipper. This whole process took over 2.5 hours. It's usually shorter than that, but because of her missing flipper, it was 2.5 hours long. And I was really concerned for her for quite a bit. But luckily she's strong, she survived an attack, and so she's making her way down the beach here to return to the water after laying about 75 to 100 eggs or so. She also, a few other things about this mama sea turtle. You'll start to be able to see in the next few seconds her missing rear right flipper. So that caused a lot of her, there you can see it pretty clearly. Also, the UCF researchers had mentioned she had 2 tags, and they had both said it was the oldest tags they had ever seen, but they couldn't have an exact date. So they said she's definitely an older mama, at least 15 or more years old. And of course, she survived those attacks that I was just talking about. There's been at least 32,000 sea turtle nests this year. It might be more than that. That's the last I heard. It's been a record year. This mama is a green sea turtle. I've only seen green sea turtles this year. There are also leatherbacks and a few other kinds, but I've only seen green sea turtles. They say the easiest way to identify them is by their tail. And so when we go around the rear, you can see a pointy little tail sticking out. That's a clear indication that it's a green sea turtle. So again, I was able to spend 2.5 hours with this beautiful mom. As you can tell, I clipped most of this video and sped it up because it is a very long process. These sea turtles only come up onto the beach once a year to lay their eggs. And interestingly, their eggs, the gender of their eggs is determined by temperature. The hotter it is, the more likely it is to be female. And the colder it is, the more likely it is to be male. Of course, with warming temperatures, we're seeing increasing females, which could cause problems eventually. I just want to say I feel so lucky to live in a place where I get to see and be a part of something like this. She was incredibly strong and brave, and you'll see here she does make it back into the ocean. Hopefully she'll return next year, and maybe I'll get to see her again. But in general, most of the moms come in the middle of the night, and so you only get to see the stragglers if you get out there by 5:30 a.m. like I have been. But it was a great 2.5 hours, and I'm thankful for Annie and the UCF researchers for helping me learn more about this process. Thanks. Finally, for my son Cole, who watches a lot of YouTube videos, if you've liked what you've seen here and would like to see my other almost 500 videos, please go to YouTube and search for Keatsian, Keatsian, and like and subscribe. Thanks.